you go. Realizing I take it for granted, few of you probably get to sit near a nice quiet little pond. Well, okay, not quiet, but quite wild, and quite radioactive, but gives it that shine. Well, not just that, I mean there's a shitload of magnesium in there, and calcium, along with U3O8. So imagine this in the middle of a solarium. And I mean, you could do this anywhere where you've got you could do this on a little, in the middle of a 1 acre lot. You could dig out something much smaller than this in a northern climate and greenhouse it in with a retractable greenhouse cover, multi-layered. Because I mean, up north where you have that serious shorted hour thing and you have to use lights and stuff, that's to extend your daylight for a greenhouse and then heat. You know, you can really turn the heat down by storing passive solar heat. That's what the banks of this half dug out and half piled up hill would be. So you're not building like a place like this used to have floods, and if it ever got like that again, it could flood again, of course. But like I say, you can do this anywhere in any bank, and then just greenhouse over the top with poly or whatever plastic you can get. And you can store an awful lot of heat up if you were going to add additional lighting, which would also generate heat. To make your winter hours up north go from, where your daylight's only 5 hours and you need 12 to keep whatever, your lettuce in your greenhouse or your wild tomatoes or your ganja, whatever, I can't believe people don't do greenhouses all over up north where there is cheap local energy available as a waste product. And if the emissions, weren't so negligent and plentiful, I guess who wants to grow their organic crops next to Alberta oil and Fort McMurray oil sands, right? With all those emissions, but that's where places where there's lots of waste heat, where you pile sand anyhow and you have huge equipment and shit like that. But big oil, if you do that and you learn, well, okay, how can I amend my slag pile so it can grow plants and shit, you're actually, even if you just offered that and maybe helped with the supply costs and shit and the free heat with university students doing interns or whatever, trying to learn terraforming, which obviously it's applicable if you can turn that waste slag pile into something useful, then you've turned it from a loss to from a liability to an asset, or at least something neutral, taking it off the books and done a really good thing, because if you can learn to do that, a greenhouse in a dugout slag pile into growing plants, whatever you have to texture over the toxic slag to keep it from outgassing, or, you know, if you can learn to greenhouse and do plants in that in a northern place. Like, what does it cost to get a head of lettuce into a diamond mine in up in Northwest Territories, you know? If you can grow your shit there. And grow it healthy. Yeah, you've done something for being able to go to places like Mars and grow food, right? So, let's see if we can give you a little bit of a round look. I'll attach this. So you'd have your lake for a heat sink. And say this was a big slag pile that you dug out, or just the way you dumped it out. Or, in your 1 acre that you bought or whatever in New York upstate, and you just dug it out. Whoop. And piled half of it up, so, you know, say you piled it 5 feet high, or 10 feet high, whatever, yeah. Okay, and then dug it down 10 feet, well, now you'd have a 20-foot brim, right? And if this is the brim here, and you fill this in with greenhouse plastic, this is your brim, well, and there's your greenhouse, right? And you're facing south in a northern climate, and you want to be able to double layer it. Or triple layer it for insulation value. Yeah. Pump CO2 in between the layers at night. Or styrofoam beads, because they're nice and white and reflective. And then you got a reflector for your grow lights to help salvage some of the light. Well, you get the idea. So, whilst I'm spoofing Terraforming Mars in this series of Tromedy, you know, as always, there's just useful ideas built into that. And you know you can't pass useful ideas and real knowledge just out like that on YouTube. They'll fuck you over and disallow it. So, spoof away, as they say. Hey, Mug? Yes. When in Romerica. Alright, y'all. Peace out. I hope you've had a good look at the first fall in New Earth. Maybe we'll meet some of you up in New Jerusalem when Phobos gets there and picks you up. All you gotta do is be able to get your ass out to it. She's got no shuttlecrafts left. No.